Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Marvel's Spider-Man on Kwings Let's Plays, and we're using another MCU suit, Iron Spider.
Oh my gosh, it looks kind of different.
Well, we did a showcase back when the game first came out on the DLC for this suit, although it can be unlocked after you reach, I believe it's level 30, level 35, something like that.
I feel like the Iron Spider suit in the MCU looks different than that.
That is the MCU Iron Spider suit. You're talking about the comic book Iron Spider. Looks totally different. It's gold and orange. It's one of my favorite spider suits that's not in this game.
That's what I was thinking of, gold and orange. That's exactly what...
It was a suit that Spidey wore during Marvel Civil War. And this is the suit that Spidey wore during Marvel Infinity War. So... So today we're doing the infamous Pigeon Quest from Howard the Homeless Guy. Helping Howard.
Long time no see. How's Pidgey doing?
He's a little down today. Misses his cousins. Been a bit of a whirlwind for both of us. Owners of my building rezoned for commercial. We had to move into Feast to get our bearings.
I'm so sorry. New York landlords can really be heartless.
When they kicked me out of my place, they set all my birds loose. Pidgey's the only one who found me. I've been looking everywhere for the rest of them, but with my bad leg and all...
You know what? I'd get around. How about I keep an eye out for him?
Okay,
We have
so...
to find the pigeons?
Yep, today we're going to be collecting all of Howard's pigeons.
Oh, but Spider-Man, don't you have to do all kinds of other stuff? How do you have time to help this guy find his pigeons?
Well, usually how most people do this.
Oh, thank you. If you have any luck, please give me a call.
How most people do it is they will target each area. I actually want a picture of Howard. They'll target each area of, or a zone in Manhattan, and they'll just focus on doing all the tasks in that area and move wherever. But, whoops, sorry, I was trying to say hi to Howard. I guess kicking him didn't work. Howard, kind of move your face, buddy, so we could get a selfie.
Do a selfie with the pigeons and Howard.
Okay, I think that's the best. Whoop.
Is he sure his pigeon's name is Pidgey?
He has lots of pigeons. I believe there's 12 in total. Now, just so people know, I'm not really super awesome at collecting the pigeons. So we might end up cheating a little bit later if I start to struggle using, like, the velocity suit and its speed power is how I did really well.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have a friend, Luke.
Oh, come on.
Little Shadow is crawling over to Luke's lap. Shadow, Luke doesn't have time to have you on.
I just moved the controller out of the way.
Okay.
It's all good. So, yeah, we're going to ignore a lot of people's cries for help and just collect pigeons today.
We only care about the pigeons. We're working for Greenpeace today.
My problem with this is pretty much they have another version of collecting pigeons later on in the game. Like,
There's a pigeon.
the side missions tend
Fly away,
to
please.
repeat, and that was some people's biggest gripe, but at the same time, the side missions can't all be different all the time, but when they repeat, yeah, it does get kind of monotonous. It's like, at this point, you know, the story was fantastic, but the side missions are just kind of,
If you do a side mission, then how could that person be in trouble again for the same thing?
No, it's a different thing, like, catch pigeons for this because they have some type of disease, or whoops.
So it'll be like the same thing, but for a different reason.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kinda
side
weird.
missions repeat with research and a couple other things a few times. And I don't know if there's going to be side missions in the upcoming DLC. So the next real big story thing that we'll be doing with this game will be October 23rd, the Black Cat DLC. So that's when you guys will definitely see Spider-Man coming back.
Supervillains, but I can't catch a pigeon.
Whoops.
Black Cat DLC is coming up then in October.
Yes. And there's a new spider suit that's exclusive to DLC stuff, which
That's cool.
I believe we have the Spider-Man season pass, but I'm not sure. Okay, so you can see all the pigeons are another little side mission, little side quest thing that you have to do in order to unlock the 100% suit, which is really stupid. The 100% costume is, I don't know, it's a waste of space. Basically Spidey in his underwear.
Oh, wow.
That's all it is. So you go through the game, you complete it 100%, and you get him in his underwear, and it's just kind of like...
It's kind of like that costume you buy for Mario in that last Mario game. He's in his boxers.
Yeah, swimming trunks Mario.
Or yeah.
You happy, kitty? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, she's all over the
I
place.
saw a
today.
massive squirrel the other day.
Oh yeah, you told me there was a giant squirrel on
It
our
was
porch.
huge. It looked like... at first I thought a skunk was coming up our porch.
There's a pigeon.
Whoa.
It was a squirrel.
It's the size of a skunk? Whoa, it's
It was
crazy.
big, yeah. And he was looking at Shadow.
Whoa, that's freaky.
Nothing like putting my skills to
It
good
wasn't
use.
being mean. It was just...
What did Shadow do?
Shadow, kind of meowed quietly and just kind of looked out the window.
Oh, she wasn't really intimidated by him?
No, if Zelda was there, Zelda would be running after.
Yep. Shadow's pretty chill.
Yeah, she is.
Sometimes, except for when I haven't done her box yet and I haven't fed her, then she lets me know.
Well, thankfully we get paid soon, but we're gonna have to tighten our belt a little bit because of that one bill now.
I know.
So I'm gonna have to try to save money every month just to make for the bills.
I feel like I should start working out on Wednesday at my...
Hey, Howard. I think I found one of Pidgey's cousins. Dusty gray flecks. Might have just left a stain on my shoes.
Claire, guy's a little devil, but he's a charmer. Give him a pat on the head and point him towards feet. He'll find his way.
No problem. I'll do the same for any others I find.
The only thing that I'm wondering, where in the world did the pigeons go after you collect them? Like, they all miraculously end up where
Yeah.
Howard is, but you don't know how they do it.
How do you should have like a little cage that you bring with you to put them in there.
You should, but... Oh, and just so people know, after you complete all the crimes in this game, because I did 100% this on another save file, I had 3 save files. I had my practice one, where I was showing you guys the different costumes and doing a lot of free roaming and not really doing much of the story. That's where you saw a lot of the early costume things. And then we have our walkthrough file, which I believe this one's at like 75 or 80%. And then the... The live stream one, I haven't really touched since we last did the live stream.
Wow, 3 save files. You have been playing this game a lot.
I played it just as much as Arkham, although I don't really see this game having a lot of longevity compared to Arkham. It feels like Amazing Spider-Man. When you're done, you're done. It feels good to be finished, but it's just like the Amazing Spider-Man games.
Maybe that's why they repeated the side missions so people could play it longer. But then you'd be doing the same side missions that are pretty much the same. So it wouldn't be like, it probably wouldn't be as fun to keep doing the same ones over and over again.
What this game's main appeal is the web-slinging. And also, just like the Spider-Man 2 game, once you complete all the, quote, side missions or whatever, or all the crime token things, there are still random crimes that happen, they just don't happen as much. So see that red little exclamation mark? There's still crimes for us to complete in this area, but I'm saying once you complete all the crimes and 100% the game, there are still crimes that happen in New York City. They're not as frequent.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, they don't happen every, we'll say, 5 minutes. They're usually every 15
crime
minutes.
still happens.
Yeah, crimes will still happen while you're
I
web-slinging.
understand what you're saying now.
And there's still a vast variety of crimes. But here's some things that are coming to the game that they haven't released yet, but they are working on. A new Game Plus feature, which will allow you to tackle the game again on a higher difficulty.
Oh.
Okay, that was interesting. Tackle it again on a higher difficulty using skins right at the beginning of the game.
Pigeon alert.
Whoa.
Using the power-ups
Getting
that you
away.
collected.
Wow.
They're also going to have a weather system. So just like in the research labs where you can go and change the time of day, you'll also be able to change the weather.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of cool because
That is cool.
there's only been a couple Spider-Man games where they let you mess with the weather. So that's nice that that's coming.
Yeah, I had the thought of how, like, normal superhero games versus Spidey game, like maybe, like, I don't want to say compare Arkham to everything, but, like, you know, Batman versus Spider-Man, why it would be different, maybe, or why it would have more longevity, and I don't know why, but, this is a kind of a stupid thing to say, but I'm wondering if it takes Batman longer to traverse around the city, because he has to walk and
Yeah.
Spider-Man swings, so it's like you get from one crime to the next so much faster, where Batman would have to go through tons of thugs and, you know, like jump over walls and have to actually run around, and it's way slower.
Right. It is slower. Spider-Man is faster paced in everything from combat to everything else. The reason why Batman takes so long is because he is sneaking around, and the cape glide is nowhere near as fast as web slinging. Web slinging,
Yeah.
this is the fastest web slinging I've seen in a Spider-Man game, and since Spider-Man 2. Although I love the web slinging in this. Don't get me wrong, it's really great, but it's still not perfect. It's good. It's really, really good, and it's better than a lot of the other ones. But Spider-Man 2 was effortless with the web slinging, and it made it more unique because the right and left triggers would act as a different wrist for Spider-Man. Whereas this one,
Yeah.
it's still just one wrist.
Off filling up. Rosa just flew home to join her brothers and sisters.
Happy to help.
Whoops.
You know these little guys pretty well, huh?
Getting there. Sandra always known best, of course.
Sandra?
Oh, my wife.
Well, tell Sandra she's got some fine birds.
Oh, yeah. Sure will, Spider-Man. Thanks again. And please, keep an eye out.
So after you collect a certain amount of birds, Howard will talk to you.
Well, I don't understand the web slinging. Yeah, I did notice we were just using the one rope, but I thought that was your web slinging style.
No, he's just using one hand. So the trigger on this hand is what does the web slinging. And then you break the webs like you do in the Sam Raimi games. But I'm saying
I
Spider-Man
like it better
2...
when you have two
Yep,
webs.
Spider-Man 2, you use the left and right trigger in order to shoot webs from each hand. So it really... To this day, a lot of people still felt like, you know, they were controlling how Spider-Man would web sling.
Yes, because you know, you're doing left, right. It's like, and then if you really wanted to, you could try breaking it off and do left and then left again or something.
You could, but
But-
everybody would just go left, right, left, right. Also, if you held them both in, then you could shoot both webs. Now, if I hold both in like that, the other trigger, you can see I do
did
use
notice
both
that.
webs for a second, for like kind of like a web
But it
zip
only
or a
does it
catapult
for a
thing.
second.
Right.
One of Howard's pigeons.
Yeah, I feel like
Getting away.
But for Insomniac's
left, right was more.
Insomniac's first Spider-Man game is really good though.
Yeah, I like the left, right web slinging because it's more like Spider-Man in the movies, in the comics.
It's just like when I had written the review, which I wish I had time to work on, but we have people coming to tear apart our downstairs. They're going to be doing painting, and I have a sensitivity to paint smell, like because of like a respiratory illness. So it's going to kind of put us out of commission.
It's gonna
So
cramp our style.
Amber and I are like bulk recording a bunch of Spider-Man as much as we can, and earlier today we recorded a bunch, and I hadn't slept for like a long time. This is me after I've slept, so you can see it's a little bit different.
They've been doing the project for a couple, like, they're gonna be doing a lot of it soon, and like they already did a little bit of it, and my nose actually kind of hurts.
Yeah, well, that's the plaster you're smelling. Tomorrow is going to be the paint, and the paint smell is going to last for a couple days. It's going to be hard.
I don't like the chemical smell because it hurts my nose.
Yep. Yeah, it'll definitely do that. All right, Howard, you going to say anything? Nope. Okay.
Your nose probably doesn't hurt as much because you were upstairs and I was the one who came down.
Yeah, you never want to be downstairs right away when they're doing that.
Oh.
Reports place the scene at Central Park.
The only thing you need to make sure of tomorrow is that they have, they put the blankets over your table.
Yeah, because...
Because, yeah, paint would definitely ruin that table, and that's the nicest table I've ever gotten you in our marriage, so... I don't think I'll get to do it again for a while.
I
Whoops.
feel like it's nicer than my parents' and your parents' table.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That was...
Hang on.
This piece of the Shocker's original uniform showed me how to protect myself from his blasts. Of course, they always upgrade, don't they?
It's called Escalation, Spidey.
I can't wait to get a house someday so we can put that table in it.
Someday. Sorry, guys. doing pigeon quests. Just try not to destroy each other while I'm away.
Oh, I was thinking that table has kind of an Asian vibe to it, so if we move to Asia, we could bring it with us on a boat or something.
Yeah, although I have a friend who moved to Japan recently, and they didn't bring most of their furniture with them.
What?
There's a pigeon.
Brought some of it.
Don't fly away, please.
Very expensive. I believe they sold the rest or they gave it away. I don't know.
Oh.
He's harder to reach now because I'm not really pulling all hours of the night anymore. I mean, I kind of am, but not really.
So I'd have to sell like everything on eBay or something.
I don't know.
How would I sell a table? Like, how would somebody pick that up?
I don't know. Stupid pigeon! Gotcha! There we go. So we have 6 of 12 pigeons, so Howard should talk to us now. Because that's a halfway point, I think. No? Ah. I guess I was wrong. Okay. Well, like I said, this is just... I know people are probably like, will you please fight some random crimes or something like that? It's like, nope, this is all about the
We're
pigeons.
doing the pigeons
Pigeons,
today.
all 12 pigeons
Because
in one place.
Howard needs our help.
Yeah. We're taking some time for Howard.
And his wifey, Sandra or something.
So just like Arkham Knight, they're going to be spacing out Spider-Man content, I believe, until January. So the first DLC wave is October, and then there should be some DLC November, December, and January. So we'll be playing this game off and on.
Oh.
But also, our next big superhero game that we have talked about is the Lego DC Supervillains, based on the New 52 storyline of Forever Evil, where a group known as the Crime Syndicate, or Injustice Gang, whatever you want to call them, they come to Earth, they pose as the Justice League, and it's up to the bad guys to save the world. There's also going to be a lot of DLC, such as Batman the Animated Series, Young Justice, CW, all kinds of stuff.
Wait, the bad guys have to help people?
Yep.
Whoa, that's gonna be weird.
It's no different than, you remember that movie that didn't have Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman? It was Crisis on Infinite Earths, or Crisis on Earths, where the Justice League fought the Crime Syndicate, or whatever. And
I think so.
it would be back in 2011, right around the time of that Red Hood movie. And it was Dwayne McDuffie's last story, but like... and it was written for the Justice League cast, but because the show it ended its run, they delayed the movie, and then they made it like an Elseworlds movie with an all-new cast, even though the personalities of the characters were the same as Dwayne McDuffie's Justice League show.
Oh.
That's why it was considered a good Justice League movie, is because it was in the spirit of those Justice League shows.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the voice actors.
It was just different voice actors, so people thought it was a totally different thing, when in reality it was the same, they just switched the actors.
Right. Fans of the Justice League can still consider it a Justice League movie, even though it's an Elseworlds thing. And that's what DC does well. They do Elseworlds stuff really good. Mm-hmm. And with Jim Lee now focusing his efforts on the movies, we're going to see a lot more Elseworlds stuff.
Well, I was just thinking, if Ben Affleck doesn't want to be Batman, he could come back as Owlman from another dimension.
Whoa. He would actually work as an Owlman, actually. Him or John Hamm, I could see. Whoa.
Taking you home, buddy.
Yeah, there we go. 8 of 12.
Yeah, I hope they come back, but I don't know what's going on with him and Henry Cavill.
No idea.
It's almost like they purposely keep people up in the air.
Spider-Man, you're a prince. Just found Vanessa in the loft.
I love these names. Is Sandra happy to see them back?
Well, actually, she's not with us anymore. Cancer, you know.
Howard, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Life's for living, not moping. First thing she told me after the diagnosis. Gotta remind myself of that every now and again. Keep looking, will you? Finding the rest of these birds that really mean a lot. Thanks, Spider-Man.
A lot of cancer survivors' families tend to go homeless after, you know, cancer costs and things like that.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Howard's wife, she got cancer, she passed away, and Howard is now homeless.
Come
So-
on.
Oh, it costs so
Fast
much.
Yeah, it does.
I had a lady come through my line like months ago at my
Pigeons eat spiders.
job, and she was telling me how much her cost for the cancer treatment. I could not believe it. I thought, like, how could she even? What kind of job does she have to afford that? Because it was like thousands a month. Like, what? Like, how can people even afford that? Like, some people don't even make that much.
No. Insurance costs sometimes. Like, they pay for it for a while. But yeah, I mean, what's different about the Spider-Man games compared to, like, they're really trying to tug on people's heartstrings, so they really bring up a lot of things that are relatable to stuff. You know, Bane was kind of suffering like a drug addiction in the Arkham games, but that was on something that didn't exist. So Spider-Man and Marvel in general, they delve more into real world situations than they do fantasy based.
You know, like problems that you might actually know someone who actually has that problem.
Right.
Rather than, like, most people don't know somebody that's like Bane.
Okay, that was... Hi, did you actually say something? Really? Wow. Okay, that's a first. Maybe they patched something, but we landed in front of somebody and they actually said they noticed. They didn't get up from their chair.
Yeah.
But at least you heard dialogue. That's something.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that DC and other comic book companies don't, like, add some realism to the world. New 52 especially did. I believe there was a superhero that had cancer. And one. I don't remember who. I don't think it was a mainstream character, but...
Yeah, I mean, for like...
I won't hurt you.
I don't know why, but for like DC, like, characters and stuff, sometimes, like, you know, like, some of the stuff they're going through, which is, like, almost, like, really crazy and intense, like, stuff that I'd probably never experience or whatever, you always, like, know, like, you feel like that, but in a different way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you can understand how that character feels, but it's not quite the same for you because you're going through real-world problems, but that character's going through something surreal, but it's similar to what you're going through. Like, it's like an allegory for what you're going through or whatever.
I'm pretty sure... I mean, back in the day, comic book companies wouldn't...
Hope Sable resolves the chase with a minimum of civil rights violations.
I can't really... I'm doing pigeons right now, Spidey. We can't save the day right now, or the pigeon quest is going to take longer.
We need to do the pigeons.
We've already been collecting pigeons now for 20-something minutes.
Convicts fleeing. Failed.
Yeah.
We have to do one thing at a time. Plus, I mean, then we can show everybody where all these pigeons are in one episode. Yeah. If anyone else is doing this pigeon quest.
I'm pretty... Well, with YouTube these days, everybody has to do their series within the first week or no one watches. That's really sad.
Yeah.
That's why you see, like, everybody bulk record the first week. Just like when Lego DC Villains comes out, we're going to be spam uploading as well, because you have to.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that you can't take time to savor the game, but as a YouTuber, you can't really have as much fun and relax with games than before you started doing it for a job.
I mean, we're going to be doing the same thing. October 1st is when we can post our Mega Man series that Amber and I have been working on off and on. And we're not quite done with the game yet, but at least at launch, there will be 4 videos. Like, day 1. I don't know if Spider-Man will still be uploaded at that point. I mean, I think we can probably leak out maybe... Because we're more than half done with the side missions now. There's a couple research places left. I would say we can probably milk the side missions for like another 5 videos. Maybe.
I can't believe it. Whole family's reunited.
No sweat, Howard. These birds are lucky to have you.
I tried. Sandra was always better with them. They're her birds, really.
Well, now that she's gone, they're yours.
Feels like a part of her lives on that way, you know?
I definitely know. You're a good man, Howard.
Anytime you want to stop by and see the family, feel free. Dan says he misses you. Thanks again, Spider-Man.
Howard is one of those really gentle soul people that I would like, reminds me of some of the people that I used to talk when I worked soup kitchens in New York City and stuff.
Oh,
like, they're just, that they're so sweet and they're so like kind-spirited toward their fellow man, even though they're going through something horrible. I mean, those type of people, you can really see like the just love of life in their eyes, and you know, it's always, you never want to count people out, like if they're going through like some type of problem in their life where they end up losing their home or they lose a job or something like that. Because I mean, life happens. Sometimes there's just no way to prevent certain things happening, like the ordeal we're going through. You just can't. You can't do anything about it.
You always think like, oh, like I don't know, it could never be you, but you never know.
Yep.
Something like that could happen.
But anyway, guys and gals, I hope you guys enjoyed all the pigeon quests in one episode. Next time, when a random crime happens, we will do our best to help people out. Also, hope you guys enjoyed the showcase more of the MCU suit that is available in-game. Until we meet again, God bless and happy gaming. More Spider-Man later today. See ya!